Let me move that over while I'm thinking about it. Okay. All right, so this is going to be the first one that we're going to take a look at. Now, I'm very much into puzzles or puzzlers, and therefore that is why I requested this game. But it is nowhere near what I expected it to be. So, we shall see how it goes. If you could tell, there was not any voiceovers or anything like that, so it's going to involve a lot of reading on my part, which is why I likely won't play it very long. Because reading aloud is not my forte, excuse me. So we are going to do whatever we can to get this started. Does seem like it's got its own music, which is amazing. Darkness, fear, a sense of falling as if in a dream and struggling to wake up. You awaken, lying on your side in a strange forest. You try to remember how you got there, but draw a blank. Slowly and laboriously, you find your feet and stand and start to take in your immediate surroundings. You are encircled by forest. However, looking south, two paths diverge into the wilderness. The leftmost looks pleasant with early morning sunlight dancing among branches and bright, colorful flowers lining its side. The path to the right appears less traveled by. It is somewhat overgrown with a dark canopy looming overhead. Uneven rocks and knots of exposed tree roots pockmark its surface. Alright, let's see. If given the choice, chat, what do we want to do? Do we want to take the road less traveled? Or do we want to take the bright, colorful flowers lining its side? So that's pretty neat. You could look around a little bit. Yo, Broccoli! What's going on? How are you? Get you a shout out there. I agree. I tend to be one of those that take the path less traveled, partly because of the attention. What is it called? Uh-oh. Where is my... Huh. I heard what sounded like a clip, but I didn't see the clip. Maybe it was just the game. I'm doing very well, Trying to get back into the swing of streaming because it's been a while, but enjoying every moment of it. Alright, let's see. So we could take the left or the right. Me and Broccoli choose right. Anybody else have a say-so before I click? What have you been up to? I hadn't seen you in a while. You struggle along the uneven and sometimes overgrown path. After a few hours, you think you hear something and pick up pace, jogging towards the source. You see a clearing up ahead. Near its center sits an odd mechanical device that appears to be making the noise you heard on the trail. As you draw nearer, the sound abruptly stops, almost as if the machine senses your presence. As you look around, you see a bridge over a deep gorge to your right and a new path back out of the clearing to your left. The bridge looks decrepit and rickety and climbs to a rocky outcrop further up on the other side. You faintly hear the sound of running water echoing up from deep within the chasm as the bridge attempts to cast long shadows down into the dark abyss below. Alright, so we've got a rickety old bridge that looks like it could fall apart even if you throw a feather on it. Or we've got another direction to go. What's this look like? A mysterious black box forms a part of the machine in the middle of the clearing. Whatever this machine's purpose is, however, is not clear to you. You notice a torn piece of material on a branch by the left path out of the clearing. So maybe somebody was taken that way or ran that way or something along that line. So Broccoli, it's been a while. Did you have a good Christmas or New Year's or, catch me up? Alright, chat, do we want to attempt to cross the rickety bridge or take the path to your left? I wish it let me see just a little bit further across the bridge to see what we might be running into. We're going to wait for the ad break to end before I close out the votes. Okay, so you could turn off the interface so that you can get a better view. Okay. The music going up and down, that's kind of weird for me. It's like the audio can't decide what it wants to do. And the background noises are kind of out of place. I've heard gunshots, I've heard rustling, now I heard what sounded like a tiger. And it seems like every room has the same background. So I don't feel like they fit the scenario. Also, thank you for putting up with the ads. Right now we need to decide whether or not to take the path to our left or the rickety bridge to our right. The path to the left, I found a piece of cloth here that shows that somebody could be injured or lost, or that somebody went that way. Could be friend or foe. And that bridge, well... I don't know. I'm all for adventure, but I'm not sure if I'm that much of a riskier. Although the ropes look like they're brand new. So like if the boards broke, and this was a real scenario, you would at least have the ropes to hold on to. Left is the safer choice, but that bridge is tempting. Yes, it's very tempting. Oh boy. These bots never give up. I swear they don't. I don't know. I kind of want to do the bridge just to see what happens. You know, I powered up this game just like when I first got it. They've made some adjustments since then, I'm having a feeling, just because of the fact that the first time I played, you could not adjust, like, the settings allowed you to adjust the speed of the words being typed out, but it would not actually adjust for mine. I would have to hit space to skip it, and then read it all. And it's just like, it was kind of a pain, but now it seems like those are working fine, which is great. Let's see what happens. You with me, Broccoli? See what happens if we attempt to cross the bridge? Here we go. Carefully negotiate the bridge as it swings creakily high above a river below. Sweat builds as the sun beats down upon you. Looking down makes you feel dizzy, so you resolve to fix your eyes on the other end of the bridge as you carefully place one foot in front of the other. About midway along, one of the planks suddenly breaks underfoot. Why am I not surprised? Do you hear what I'm saying, though? Do you hear that tiger growl kind of thing? It's so... It does not fit what you're showing me on screen. Target 5 or greater, fortune imposes upon you. Okay, so I could have sworn that was a 4 and a 1, not a 5 and a 1, and it says you roll 6 and pass. You quickly extend your hand, grasping for anything, and luckily catch the rope railing in the nick of time, proceeding extra carefully. See, this is what I don't like about some games with a lot of text, is it goes so quickly that you don't have time to process anything. And that's not a game I'll play very much of, because it's just I don't know. To me so far, I'm not very impressed. The art is nice. The music is comforting, but the background sounds and just the way that they have things going for the mini game, I couldn't even tell what was rolled before it was picked up, and the text went too quickly for me to finish reading it. As you walk, you notice the terrain is drier, rockier than before, and the forest is thinning out a little. Eventually you come to an old crumbling wall, bordering the left-hand side of the path up ahead. Based on what remains, to what purpose this wall once served, you can only guess. You stop to look around and take in the view on the path near the north end of the wall. While looking around, you think you catch out of the corner of your eye something move at the far end of the wall. Perhaps only a shadow in the wind? I think another thing is that, like, as somebody who was trying to write as a kid, I learned one very important thing, and that is to try to prevent repetitive wording. And so if this is a narrative, it needs to be a damn good one. It needs to kind of follow along what you would expect out of a good book. Whereas this one, near the north end of the wall, and then the very next sentence it talks about at the far end of the wall. That is what a thesaurus is for, and it could have easily been enhanced by changing one of those walls to stone structures or something along that line. Alright. Follow the shadow or continue along the path. What do we want to do? Broccoli, is that a recent picture in your profile pic? Because I see the baby, and the baby is adorable. We've been brave this whole time. Let's continue on with the bravery and follow the shadow. As you get closer, it becomes apparent from prints in the soil that this is no mere shadow, but some kind of creature that's been startled and taken flight into the wilderness. You sprint past the wall in pursuit, however, find you are pursuing through a lot of undergrowth. Okay, that was very complicated to read. I gotta wait for it to stop. Okay. However, find you are pushing through a lot of undergrowth off the beaten path, which slows you down considerably. You continue to hear rustling noises up ahead, so you push on. At one stage, you emerge from the wilderness to cross a path running east-west. But you almost immediately dive back into the undergrowth on the other side of it to continue the pursuit. Abruptly, the undergrowth recedes, and you come to a vine rope swinging over a chasm. Just in time to see a bit of fur disappear into the bushes on the other side. The rope swings precariously in front of you. Fear swells up, but you need answers, and quickly swallow it back down. You leap from the edge, hands outstretched as the rope swings towards you. Target 7 or greater, fortune imposes upon you. I got a 4, so I fail. Your hands, thick with sweat, fail to gain purchase the rope and slip. Your arms flail desperately towards the rapidly shrinking rope end for a few moments before your body involuntarily tenses up to a tight ball, bracing itself for an inevitable, terrible something. And we died. Game over. I don't know if I want to replay or whatever on this, because the mini game is so quick, you don't have time to read, let alone think. You know, if it's going to be a timed event, it needs to give you a little bit of time to read through the instructions before the timer starts. Even if that means a pop-up window shows up that displays the rules, blocking you from doing anything or seeing anything until you've done the rules or read the rules. So I kind of feel like there's a few things that they could have done a lot better in this. I think just because of all the reading and the fact that it's starting to kind of irritate me, the fact that, you know, people like me who are not the best or fastest readers can't enjoy a game like this because, and there's a lot of games that are like that, but if you're going to give us subtitles that we have to read ourselves, make it a clickable thing so that we can take our time to read what we want to read and grasp it before moving on, instead of forcing us to miss half of it because we just can't read as quickly as you decided it should be read. You know, especially a game like this. There is nothing pressing on why that text had to be one of the things that you can't control it starting or not starting, or, you know, continuing on. So I think we will go ahead and just stop it there, just because of the fact that, you know, I think I'll experiment a little bit more off stream on this one, but I think it needs some polishing before it would be something that I would want to actually play in full. It's an awesome concept, you know, kind of a choose your own adventure, but